Hi everybody, and welcome to this Made by Movement class. This is a YouTube class and this is for the Best Athletics Running Club. Hi everybody, I hope that you guys have had a good last month since I've seen you. Today we're going to have a low back focused class. So, inspired by if you're doing a lot of running, a lot of activity, a lot of lifting, that can make your back kind of sore, especially combined with the normal culture of desk work. So today that's what we're going to focus on, and it's only going to be like I said, 20 to 30 minute class, so it can fit perfectly with your training. If you are interested in any of our other classes, I'll kind of go over that a bit at the end, but all our classes are specifically designed for outdoor sport lovers and outdoor lovers, and it's designed perfectly to fit in with your training and your life. It's not meant to replace anything. So let's get going. So we're going to start here. If you would like to use any blocks, you can put them under your hand. I'm going to start my Apple Watch here. Okay, so I'm just going to put my hands just in front of the mat, about 6 inches from the top of the mat, and I'm going to grip into the mat, so I'm almost making what I would call spider fingers. And that's just the knuckles are coming up, and it increases the surface area, which takes less tension off the wrist. So a lot of people find that that's a challenge. You can have socks on, you can have socks off. A lot of people have socks off with yoga, but it's kind of cold today, so I'm just going to keep them on. You can kind of do whatever is going to work best for your practice. So I'm going to press my chest towards my thighs, press into my toes, and the heels are off. And you can just figure out how far away you want your feet, whatever's comfortable. What we want is to press the sit bones, so these kind of bony bits, towards the back top of the room. And we're just going to press back, holding here. Inhale. And exhale. Ribs are pulling down, so it's just a small movement. Chest pushes toward the thighs, and we're pressing into our hands, so our shoulders are coming away from our ears. We're going to inhale this right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, bringing it on the outer edge of our right hand, and drop the back knee. Taking this right arm, and you can untuck the toes. Right arm reaching toward the sky, so we're coming into a bit of a lizard twist here, squeezing this right knee into our chest, twisting through the thoracic spine, so opening up. Inhale, and exhale, hand back down, curl the back toes, and we're using the abs to just squeeze that foot back. Excellent work. You can go back and bend into the knees, maybe walk those legs out slightly. Good. Oh, my hamstrings feel so tight. Left leg toward the sky now. You can open up the hip here. Just reach knee to chest and drop that foot on the outer edge of the left hand. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes. Rotation. Inhale and exhale, twisting from the spine, keeping those hips forward, squeezing that left knee in. Inhale and exhale. Well done, everybody. This one is so good because it moves every part of the back and every part of the hips that can create tension. Now, instead of stepping back up, let's step into feet kind of slightly off the mat, heels on the mat, toes off the mat, into this wide-legged step up. Now, it's not crazy wide, but it's just, enough to release the back, release the hamstrings, maybe go side to side a bit. Inhale, rolling back up to standing, raise the arms up, and fold forward here. Good. One more time, rolling up, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Excellent. So what we're going to do now is left foot steps back, right foot steps back. We're in a high plank. Inhale and exhale. Drop the right knee, drop the left knee. And so what we're going to go into now is something that we do really often in physio, in Pilates, in yoga. A lot of these things intermix. We're going to go into bird dog taps. So I'm going to take my right leg out like this, my left arm, and we're going to raise both, tap them down, back up. Now this is meant to be as slow and controlled as possible. It's not about reps. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the back nice and flat, we're not arching. Good, keep on going. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, give yourself a little shake out. And let's go to the other side. Leg out, arm out, slowly tap. The slower and more controlled you can go, the more these muscles will activate, and it's going to help release your lower back. Inhale. And exhale, elbow and wrist is underneath shoulder. Good. Slow or even on, probably going too quick. Good job. Okay, just press into this child's pose just for a moment. And inhale, roll forward. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to come in from this 4-point kneeling, and we're going to just bring the knees slightly back. So keep the knees down, drop the hips, almost like it's a cobra in yoga. Drop the chest, and then curl the toes. Hands are underneath shoulders. We press up, and then back into a downward facing dog. Well done, everybody, holding this downward facing dog. You can bend the knees if you feel like your hamstrings are not allowing you to lift those sit bones the way you need to. And eventually those hamstrings will start to release. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to go into some hip circles. So we're going to take our knee, like we're trying to hold something behind our knee. And we're just going to go circles, drawing with our knee. Squeeze this to the chest, exhales, opens. Good job, everybody. On your next exhale, drop this right knee through. We're going to take our right hand right in line with this right knee. And we're going to reach and then grab our left ankle. And we're going to be stretching into this left quad. Inhale and exhale. Holding here, pressing into this foot and that knee. Feeling that nice activation, but also just that stretch through the quad here, opening up through the hip flexor. And exhale, release. Pressing back into a downward facing dog, lifting that left leg again, stretching through, and squeezing it through the hands, dropping it, coming into a triangle. So our right foot is facing the long edge of the mat, and we're just gonna rise up here. And so I know you probably can't see my head just because of the angle of this, so we're gonna lower down slightly. Now you might be holding here. You might also have your hand just resting in the back of your ankle and then reaching up. You might have your hand down depending on your adductor length. What we want is to be open, so you imagine that there's two walls on either side of you and you're squeezed in between. So we're not trying to push our bum back too much. So if you need to be a bit higher to do that, that's no problem. Inhale and exhale, and that stretch through down into the lower back as well. Nice opening up to the hamstrings and the hips. Inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, drop both hands. You can bend your knees and turn both feet toward the long edge of the mat here. And you can just bring them slightly closer. And again, if you need to bend your knees, that's okay, but we're just going to be gently moving left and right here. Good. Excellent work, everybody. And so what we're going to do here is we're now going to press into our hands, and we're just going to drop this right knee. I'm going to lengthen out this left leg. And all we're going to do is rise up, stretch to the side. So my right hand is up, we're stretching through this right side of our body, pressing into this left leg. Not too much pressure through the knee, but just to stabilize you. Inhale and exhale. And exhale, right hand drops down. Left hand reaches up. And we're just pressing. Now if you want to make this any harder, let's press into this left foot and lift this right knee. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's press our hips back and just do a single leg child's pose. Excellent work. And so what we'll do now is let's go into our downward facing dog. Reconnect there. Set ourselves back up. Downward dog's an excellent place to kind of reset. Inhale, pressing in, gripping into that mat, chest toward the thighs. We're going to do our knee circles. So holding something in between your knees, opening up like you're drawing a big circle if there's a crayon on your knee. Move the rest of your body. It does not have to be perfect. Just see what feels good. Inevitably, one side will have different range of motion, so adjust as you need to. Good. Squeezing this knee to the chest, dropping it down. Excellent. Left hand into the center of the mat. We're going to reach up and grab this right ankle. Open up here, open through the chest, open through the hips. Press into your hand with that right foot to stabilize you. One side you might notice feels a lot easier. Inhale. Excellent work. Release. Push back into your downward facing dog. Right leg goes high. Reach it through to your hands. We're going to triangle on this right side. Back toes go toward the long edge of the mat. And we lift our chest, opening it towards this long edge of the mat on the left side. Reaching up, you can look towards this top hand. Again, finding what height is going to work for you. If it's going to cause you to kind of be bent over in a bit more of a 3D position, just rise up. Think 2D. That's what we're going for here. But we're stretching out, so you might notice actually you have to be higher, not because of the hips, but because of the lower back. It's good just to notice those things. Inhale and exhale. Dropping the hands, swinging the feet toward the long edge of the mat. Again, bend into the right knee, bend into the left. Inhale and exhale. Good, and we're going to drop this left knee, pressing into our hands, stretching this leg out, rising up. Well done. Right hand goes just on top of the thigh, reaching over. You can slide that leg down. You might notice that your adductors are restricting you, your sides are restricting you. So just moving wherever is comfortable, okay? Inhale and exhale. And left hand down toward the top of your mat, underneath your shoulder. Elbow is in line with the shoulder, reaching up. And we're just stretching through the side. We want to make it more intense. Press into this right foot. Lift. Ooh, this one's a lot harder on this side for me. Good job. And turning into this downward facing dog. Well done. Holding here.
And looking at our hands, we're gonna tiptoe as slow as we can, one foot in front of the other, up to our hands into a forward fold. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful job, everybody. Inhale, rise hands just to under the knees. Straighten out the back, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Taking our left foot back into this low lunge, so left knee goes down. Inhale, rising up with the arms lengthening through the hip flexors. You might really feel that left side here. Hands framing that front foot, and we're going to bring this right foot just towards our left hip, coming into a bit of a pigeon pose here. You can keep this right foot quite close to your body so you're a little bit higher rising up. And you might stay here. What I don't want is you sitting on one hip or sitting on the other. Just stay risen in the middle. And this might be enough for you, but if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit more, raising this left foot, grabbing it, and then just reaching forward. Really feeling it down that left hip and that left quad. Don't fall. Good job. Inhale. And exhale, framing that knee, curling the left toes. And what we're going to try to do is lift into a downward facing dog, just using our abs and not making it too clunky. So lift. Well done. Good, good, good. And we're going to do that same thing now, but the opposite side. So right knee is down, left leg is through the hands, reaching those arms up into this low lunge Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. And exhale, framing that front foot. The left foot walks towards this right hip into this pigeon pose. Feels like such a nice glute stretch as well. A lot of times the glutes can have a huge impact on how the lower back is feeling. You might just stay here, or you can grab this right foot. Inhale and exhale. Don't worry about how it looks, does not matter. It's going to be what works for your body. So you should never look exactly like me or the person next to you. And release, curl those right toes, picking your body up in one movement if possible. Good, holding here, excellent work. Looking at your hands, bending into your knees, and we're going to try to do actually a little bit of a jump. So bending into the knees, the abs do most of the work. And we're going to bring our feet together. Good job. Good. So if you've ever done yoga and done a crow pose, we're going to do the beginning bit of that. So walk a little bit back into the mat, bending into the knees. And so we're coming to almost like crouch position. And we're pushing our knees back into our elbows. So almost like the outer sides. And what we're going to do now, instead of going into the crow pose, is we're in a really flexed position here. We're going to lean into that, almost just like we're really rounding into our back like a little ball. Opening up through the hips here because our hips are out. And this is just such a nice deep stretch for the lower back, and it's in a bit of a different position, which is what the back needs. Good job. Now what we're going to do is kind of sit back, but if you'd like to, before you sit back, go into a bit of a crow pose, so leaning your chest forward and raising the arms, then that's absolutely fine. If not, just sit back. Excellent work. Okay. We're gonna, oh my god, my Siri just said something to me. Okay, so now we're sitting down. We're going to lean our hands back, and we're just going to drop our knees side to side into this internal and external rotation. You might have done this before. It's quite a common movement, but it's a really good one. So it's common for a reason, basically. So it's called 90-90 or just rotation. And we're going to stop one way. So finding a comfortable seat. And we're going to, actually, I lied. Let's make sure we've got some room on the left side. So our left knee is out. So the foot is kind of up. I'm going want you to turn towards this left leg. And we're just doing a twist. So you might be here, maybe you even can go down. That's great. Inhale and exhale. Holding here. This is an excellent twist. And if you want to make it a little bit tougher, you can rise back up. We're going to take our chest and we're just going to lean forward over this left knee. So sometimes what helps is if you just lean forward slightly and then take away your hands, you'll really feel that glute activating, and it can really be a nice release into the glutes. If it feels too much though, just keep those hands down. It's a nice alternative. Excellent. And let's switch directions. So this right knee is going to be an external rotation. So the foot is kind of going to be up. Again, keep some room to the side. And we're going to do some just holding in this rotation. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, if you want to make it a little harder, hover or just go into fingertips. One side you might notice is a lot easier than the other. You really feel that activating when you do it. Inhale and exhale. And rise back up. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come onto our back now as we slowly start to come into the end portions of this class. We're still going to do a couple things. So onto our back, palms toward the sky, feet hip distance apart. We're just going to go into some just gentle bridging here to go into a little bit more of extension into the spine, even though it shouldn't be too much. We're just going to press into our big toe, press into our heel, and our bum lifts and our lower back lifts, squeezing into the inner thighs just so they're not flopping open. And exhale, drop the lower back, drop the hips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Depending on your strength, your activation, your lower back sensitivity, sometimes single leg is a lot better an option. So just lift that leg just gently. Just do a couple on one leg. And then you can switch. However, if this doesn't feel very relieving and you're feeling the muscles strain and contract and become more painful, just go into double leg. Just a couple more here. Good. Excellent. And let's keep those feet now, bringing them together, and let's just drop the knees left, drop the knees right. Well done, everybody. Good. Let's hug those knees into the chest. Maybe make some circles, maybe do left and right, it's a bit opposite. The back loves movement and variety, so if we're always in a slouched position, maybe we should do the opposite and do a bit more of extension. So we did a lot of both today, but it's just good to, give your back the opposite of what it needs. Maybe you need just a little bit more rotation. It just depends on what you're doing throughout the day. So if we're always, extending our back, we'd still get pain even if we were slouched. And the same as if we were slouched. Excellent work. And then what we'll finish with is just a little bit of a neural floss. And this is excellent if your nerves are starting to get irritated, if you're getting sciatica symptoms, because these glutes and these hip muscles and the back muscles are so tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take behind our right thigh. You can straighten out the leg if that's comfortable or keep it bent. And we're just going to straighten that leg, flex the foot. So it really is straightening and pulling that nerve, release, and drop down. So it's trying to floss that nerve through the tissues. Excellent work, everybody. Let's switch to the other side. Good. You might notice that one side is a little bit tighter. And release. Well done, everybody. Feel free to lay here as long as you need. You can lay out your legs straight. You can keep the soles of the feet together. Palms for the sky. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to sit up. So please, like I said, we don't often get time to relax ourselves very much. So yeah, it's really important to take that time. And also it can bring us a little bit more focus into what's happening in our bodies. So thank you so much for joining me today. Made by Movement is so happy and excited to be part of Best Athletics, and we want to support you guys as much as possible. If you are looking for longer classes, or even we've got 5 to hour long classes, so we've got a huge range, and the goal is really to meet you where your training is and to help you overcome injuries and mobility issues, and control and strength where we can, and really support your training, not to replace it. So I hope to see you guys soon. We've also got physio education, so if you're having any injuries or need some more education and advice from a place you can really trust, that's what our goal is. You can get 1 free month with the code Best Athletics. I hope to see you guys soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, and I'll see you next month. Bye.